It started as a rumor, a whisper that spread through locker rooms and front offices like wildfire. A Saudi-backed basketball league, with billion-dollar funding, is offering Caitlin Clark the kind of deal that could rewrite the history of women's sports. $100 million, private jets, global tournaments, and a promise: we'll treat you like the star you are. Now the WNBA is facing its biggest crisis since its creation, and it all comes down to one question. Will Caitlin Clark walk away from the league she helped save for a deal too big to refuse? Behind the headlines, the WNBA is stuck in bitter collective bargaining agreement negotiations. Players are frustrated, executives are scrambling, and Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is facing a storm she can't spin her way out of. Then came the leak, a Saudi-funded league called Project B, ready to launch next year, modeled after LIV Golf's takeover of men's golf. This isn't fantasy money, it's real, and it's arriving just as the WNBA looks the weakest it's been in years. Project B has been in the works for 2 years, quietly built by powerful investors across tech, oil, and sports. Their plan? 6 elite teams, 11 players each, 7 international tournaments in Paris, Singapore, Dubai, and beyond. Players will earn between $10 and $50 million per season, flying on private jets and living in 5-star accommodations. And leading it all is former WNBA legend Elena Beard, now the chief basketball officer, giving the league instant credibility with players who felt ignored at home. This isn't a side project, it's a global revolution designed to flip the balance of power overnight. Caitlin Clark's name sits at the center of it all. She's the face of the WNBA, the ratings machine, the fan magnet, and the league's lifeline. But after a brutal rookie campaign that ended with multiple injuries, left quad, right groin, and a bone bruise in her ankle, Clark's 2025 season was shut down. Fans demanded answers. The WNBA's silence only made things worse. Now insiders say that's when Project B made their move, offering Clark a staggering $100 million to become the face of their global circuit. It's not just money, it's leverage. And suddenly the player the WNBA relied on to grow its brand might be the one who redefines it forever. While Caitlin was icing her ankle, frustration boiled behind the scenes. Players still fly commercial, top stars still earn less than NBA assistant coaches, and the same old promises of growth echo year after year with little to show for it. The truth? The WNBA doesn't have a money problem. It has a leadership problem. It treats money like an obstacle. Meanwhile, Project B treats it like the solution. When an athlete can earn 10 times more money with better care and travel, how long before loyalty turns into survival? Timing is everything. The WNBA is heading into another CBA negotiation with players demanding real revenue sharing and charter flights, not slogans. And at the very same moment, Project B is promising both: a full-season world tour, global media coverage, luxury treatment. The WNBA still acts local, while Project B is going global. Cathy Engelbert is focused on sustainability. The Saudis are focused on domination. When billionaires see opportunity, they don't ask permission. They buy it. The NBA owns nearly half the WNBA. That means when Project B threatens to outpay and outshine the Women's League, it embarrasses the NBA too. Adam Silver has now stepped in, not out of passion, but out of panic. He's pushing new partnerships, new sponsors, even Middle East exhibitions to keep relationships alive. But it's too late to play defense. The world is watching a billion-dollar chess match, and Silver is suddenly the one reacting instead of leading. Caitlin Clark changed women's basketball overnight. Every arena she entered sold out. Every broadcast she appeared on broke records. But when she went down injured, the ratings dropped, attendance dipped, and the league's momentum froze. That's when fans started asking, if the WNBA can't protect its biggest star, who can it protect at all? Clark took harder hits than any rookie in memory. Officials rarely intervened, and instead of transparency, the league chose silence. That silence might be what drives her out, and what drives others to follow. Behind closed doors, agents describe the tone of these new conversations as polite but persuasive. Project B doesn't pitch desperation, it offers opportunity. It doesn't promise fame, it promises respect. Instead of talking about exposure or growth, the discussions revolve around contracts, medical staff, and equity stakes, the language of true professionals. And for players who have spent their entire careers fighting for basic standards, that difference matters more than any marketing campaign. Project B is positioning itself as not just a league, but a movement. One built on the idea that women shouldn't have to sacrifice quality to chase their dreams. They're offering not only generational wealth, but generational change. World-class facilities, guaranteed travel, flexible schedules, and endorsement pipelines that actually prioritize athletes instead of corporations. Meanwhile, the WNBA's most loyal veterans are watching the writing appear on the wall. Some are torn, emotionally invested in the league that gave them a platform, yet aware that emotional loyalty doesn't pay medical bills or fund retirement. They know their prime years are short, their bodies take a beating, and every injury could end their career tomorrow. If a new system offers security and stability, how long can you blame them for listening? Project B doesn't need to steal players. It just needs to exist. The mere presence of a fully funded alternative forces the WNBA to face questions it has avoided for years. Why are players still begging for charters? Why do stars earn a fraction of their male counterparts while generating record ratings? And why should athletes keep waiting for progress when another league is ready to hand them everything they've been asking for? Now, inside agency circles, whispers are turning into strategy sessions. Some agents are even advising clients to wait before signing new WNBA extensions, just to see how Project B's contracts unfold. Others are mapping out potential dual-season scenarios, where elite players compete in both leagues, using the global exposure to build their brands beyond North America. That's the real danger for the WNBA, not just losing talent, but losing control of the narrative. If players begin to define their careers on their own terms, league loyalty becomes optional. And once that door opens, it's almost impossible to close. Because at the end of the day, Project B's message is simple. We won't ask you to choose between loyalty and livelihood. We'll let you have both. And in an industry where fairness has always been a fight, that kind of promise is impossible to ignore. Agents are already fielding calls. Star players, especially those nearing free agency, are quietly listening. They see what LAV Golf did. They remember what Saudi money did to European soccer. They know what happens next. When another league offers safety, global reach, and 8-figure paydays. You don't need marketing, you need contracts. Project B doesn't need to beg for credibility, it buys it. And with names like Caitlin Clark, Aja Wilson, and Angel Reese potentially in the mix, the power dynamic could flip in a single offseason. The WNBA's future is suddenly fragile. The very athletes it built its brand on now have a reason to walk away. What was once unthinkable, a rival women's league stealing stars, is now inevitable if changes aren't made. Engelbert can't rely on slogans anymore. She needs bank wires, infrastructure, and results. Because the world's wealthiest investors have just declared war. Not with threats, but with funding. And the sport of women's basketball may never be the same again. If you were Caitlin Clark, fresh off a painful injury, frustrated by leadership silence, and handed a contract worth $100 million, promising world-class care, private travel, and a global spotlight, what would you do? Stay loyal to a system that's failed generations of players, or join a new one built to finally treat you like the star you are? This isn't just about one contract. It's about control, respect, and the future of women's basketball itself. Because when billionaires decide to play this game, the scoreboard doesn't lie. It resets. The story of Caitlin Clark and Project B is far from over. The next few months could reshape not only her career, but the entire landscape of women's sports. Do you think Caitlin should take the deal or stay loyal to the WNBA? Let us know your thoughts below. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update as this story unfolds. This isn't just basketball anymore. It's history in motion.